Now we're advancing through time.
I don't understand.
Blue line was the trajectory mankind was supposed to follow. The future Harry had accounted for. The red line is what's actually happened since the last crisis. That's where we really are. This one, call it the third crisis. It's a turning point. If we don't start preparing for it now, the age of darkness Harry predicted gets longer, not shorter.
How long?
So long that it might never end.
Show me the turning point where chaos seems to consume everything. I saw her again. I have to find Gale Dawn before she finds me. Gale! All alone. Without your worries. Where are your mentalics, Gale? Where's the second foundation? I can reach inside your mind, but still I see a younger self peeking out at me. I have to destroy her, even if I have to burn everything to do it.
Hello Mudbeards, Mentalics, and those manipulated by the Empire, and today we're going to be bringing another trailer reaction. I'm actually really excited for this one. I am someone who is a big Foundation fan for mostly the same reasons that I'm a Dune fan, and funnily enough, we wouldn't really have Dune if it wasn't for Asimov's stories of the Foundation. And while I know there is some fans who preferred Asimov's books over the actual show's interpretation, but I personally thoroughly enjoy the show. I think, like many, one of my favorite aspects of this show is the Empire. We need more sci-fi emperors in storytelling that aren't just some big grand bad guy. And almost every Empire scene within this series is fire. Anytime we see one of these characters talking and interacting with each other is super intriguing to see. And nobody steals the show more than Demerzel. Fantastically played by Laura Byrne, and she is one of those characters who I won't really spoil too much on, but probably one of the most mysterious of the entire series. Interestingly enough, it's been so long since we've gotten any news about a new season of Foundation that I had completely forgot about it when I created a YouTube channel. But the minute I saw they were releasing a teaser that they quoted on Twitter last night, Twitter, oh my gosh. Am I old? Let's just say I'm super hyped for the new season. Spoiler alert if you're not caught up, but basically we're going to be diving into the fall of the Empire, hopefully, with the introduction of the Mule. And the Mule is going to be played by the Game of Thrones actor who played Euron. But what if this trailer isn't exactly as it seems? By the end of this video, I'll be breaking down a Mule theory that I think could be pretty spot on. But it will be stepping into some spoiler territory, so I'm keeping it at the end just in case. But if you want to hear more about Foundation and get a soft introduction into the series, you should go the route I did and watch Quinn's Ideas. Alright, we are officially going to watch it. You know, I started filming this entire thing before I realized it was just a teaser. I probably should have just looked at the time length of the actual video itself, but what are you going to do? Let's go ahead and get into it. Ooh.
Nothing will ever be the same again.
Oh, I want to pause it so bad. So they must be waking up on the same planet. Emperor Beard? Emperor Jesus? What's going on? Visual budget's back.
Upon us. And at the center of it is the Mule. He will destroy everything. I see something I like. I take it.
Kiss the boy, gentlemen.
It's worse than you know.
If we fail, humanity will be lost forever.
We act or we lose.
Oh! What? What are you doing, Gale? Are you surfing down the... What? Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to watch this slowly. That's soon. Wait a minute. I know my dates. That's very soon. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm so hyped. Every one of their trailers is fire. Anyways, we're gonna watch this super slowly now and kind of see what's going on. Oh man, it's been a long time since I've seen the last 2 seasons, so I'm really jumbling memories here. But so essentially here, it looks like they've developed the foundation a little bit further into the future on Tellem's planet. I can't remember the name of the planet necessarily, but on the other side, where Foundation was actually being developed and not led by a bunch of Mentalics, you had the whole planet of Terminus, which was destroyed. Cleon officially lost it in a fit of rage and decided to blow the whole thing up, which unfortunately for him did kind of work against him in the end. Seems like this will be the scene where Gale actually wakes up from the cryopod and gets a look at everything that's changed since she's gone to sleep. Gale is an interesting character because she is the first Mentalic we really get introduced to in the show. Lee Pace yet again reprises his role as Emperor Cleon, and interestingly enough, this time he's repping a different look. An interesting thing to note is that each season, the Cleon that represents Emperor Day seems to be getting more and more loose with their hair. In the first season, it was very fitting for the image of Emperor Cleon. In the second season, we notice he's sort of leaning away from the genetic dynasty altogether and letting his hair down a little bit. And now in this season, we can see he's fully let it go, which is alright with me. I need the Emperor around for as long as possible. Something I've noticed though is I'm getting the vibe that this Cleon could be one of the most peaceful Cleons we've ever seen. And while I know season 1 Cleon was very back and forth, at the end of the day he was a decent dude, but this Cleon might actually be a morally just Cleon. This shot right here makes me think that Demerzel has finally fully embraced her leadership role, and the Cleons may still be the public-facing figures, but come on, this is an Emperor's throne if I ever did see one. The real Emperor, Demerzel. So I think this shot indicates one of two things. We're either going to see Demerzel in a full Emperor's garb, maybe further in the future throughout the season, or we're going to get a flashback to maybe Demerzel's origin or the person that Demerzel's android model is based off of. In this scene, we get another look at the Mule, and he seems to be pulling a little bit of a Euron, saying that if he sees something he likes, he's going to take it. A true Greyjoy at heart. So we get another shot of the strange obelisk that was appearing over Terminus. Back then, it was revealed that Harry Seldon had actually built it from himself. But in this sequence, we can see that yet another one exists on a whole different planet that seems to be pretty fluctuating. You got vegetation everywhere. You seem to have another guard that very much is resembling Salvor, but obviously can't be her. I want to know what this shot is all about, with the red over the face and the sort of garb that they're wearing. I do really enjoy cults in any sort of medium, and this is giving me the vibes of the Fallout cult when they had the bunker down below. Either way, I'm wondering if this is alluding to the Mule in some way, shape, or form. You can see that the Mule is donned in red and seems to be a bit of a jolly chipper guy, and I'm wondering if these are sort of smiles that he has his cultists wear, or maybe they wear in honor of him. Or this could be an entirely different faction or group of people altogether. I would love to see another form of Tellem's Mentalics, or Mentalics similar to Tellem, form a group and kind of go to war with everybody. And in this shot, it looks like there's maybe a few platoons ready to be picked up and somebody potentially betrays them, taking out the ships that were going to carry them away. I believe that's Demerzel in the background, and I'm not quite sure who this person is in the front. Could potentially be the offspring of the Cleon that escaped last season.
Oh man.
Now this is pod racing. Until I pause it at this moment, I didn't fully remember who this guy was, but I think we've seen this guy in the last season. I think he was standing in the crowd when Brother Constance was walking around and trying to spread the gospel of Harry Seldon. Someone let me know down below if this is the same actor or not, but in the same crowd, his eyes flickered. Oh, maybe I'm misremembering. I think that might have just been a spy for the Empire. I don't know, I'm struggling to remember. Okay, this shot actually has me very hyped. If you look here, you can see a wall separating what looks like a city and an industrial area to a barren desert / wasteland. In my head, this could only mean that the Empire is beginning to fall and maybe now is subjugated to just a city, which would just be a huge downgrade for the Ecumenopolis they had going last season. Which means we could finally be stepping into the territory that they keep talking about throughout the show, which is a new dark age. You know what, for a second I thought this was Rorschach or Rorsch from the first season. They're also in the same field that all the grass was before, and if you notice, the giant obelisk in the background has changed its form, which last season when that happened, it was a pretty big moment. Okay, you can see here that bearded Cleon is moving his way through a crowd. To me, this could either be the Mule because of the red jacket, or an off-branch of Seldon's cult. Considering they spread their gospel in a red-robed attire, I could see some of their teachings going down in history and maybe being skewed in different ways. I think if Season 2 set up a religious fanatic belief in Seldon, this will be the outcome. And now you can see Leon straight up yeeting this person off of the screen. I'm assuming they're giving some sort of ceremony or sermon, and Cleon just doesn't like to hear it. It looks like we're getting yet another red robe getting sucked into sort of the vacuum of space or an explosion on a ship of some kind. Again, this really does seem like Harry Seldon believer now that I look at it. We see here what looks like a death beam, an orbital death strike, and I don't think this planet's going to make it all the way through. And this is probably what ends up becoming of the planet. Although this looks more like a sun than a grand explosion. And it looks like at the end there we may have Demrazel, I'm thinking? I am hyped for some of this wardrobe here. It looks like the Fadakeen armor from the first Dune movie. I don't know, I'm very excited for it. I'm thinking Gale is surfing after this ship in the hopes of finding someone or something and helping them out. I'm not quite sure what's going on here. So now I want to get into my big Mule theory. Something I thought about while I was working on this is the Mule in the books is described as someone who is sort of jaundiced, who is sort of scrawny, who sort of has all their power in their mentalic abilities, right? But within the show we have a whole different type of Mule, which is someone who basically is a powerhouse, sort of like Thanos. They walk around with their big electric gloves and just kind of destroy everything physically. So I'm wondering if maybe the Mule we're seeing right now is a red herring and the actual Mule is, stay with me, the new actor they've casted being Cody Fern. See, a lot of horror fans who have seen Cody Fern around will know for a fact that he would play a perfect Mule. My personal theory is that the guy we're seeing is just a giant space pirate who is found by Cody Fern's Mule, who in turn uses him as sort of the face of his galactic takeover, while simultaneously playing off as one of his own hostages. Now this could progress within the season itself and we could watch it go down, or it could be something that is happening from the very start. But that begs another question, who is the Mule? Well, one theory is that he could be the descendant of one Cleon who escaped the constant tragedies that the Emperors keep facing. And if that is the case, it would add a lot to the Mule and his confrontations with the Empire. Either way, I'm very hyped. Let me know what you think and if you're excited to see what they end up doing with the Mule. I'm gonna have to rewatch the last 2 seasons to really catch up and remember a lot of what's been going down, but I'm very excited to find out. Either way, definitely let me know if you guys have any aspects or story elements you're looking forward to seeing this season, or questions you hope are answered. Appreciate you watching, appreciate the feedback, and remember, it's all part of the plan.